Welcome back to Grain by Grain, Tales of Taste, where we explore the incredible ways food brings people together. I'm David, and today I have a very special co-host, none other than the founder of Salt of Perfection, my beautiful wife, Terry.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here for this conversation. Today we're joined by our wonderful guest, Kymberly, along with her son, Gabe. Their family has been on a bit of a flavor journey, and we're going to hear all about how Salt of Perfection found its way into their kitchen.
We'll talk about their favorite meals, how seasoning can make a difference, and maybe even get some new recipe inspiration along the way. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into another delicious conversation. So you guys, your story is literally the reason we started the podcast because it's so inspirational. So can you tell us a little bit about the story?
Sure. So Gabe has had a very limited palate, and trying to get him to try new foods was generally a fight. And it takes all the fun out of it when you have to spend 15 minutes trying to convince somebody to take a bite. And so this was a godsend, really, because he got to see Miss Terry's face and he tried her salts. And so when I would make something new and put one of the seasonings on it, and I would just say, it's Mrs. Terry's vegetables or it's Mrs. Terry's bacon or whatever, he would try it. It would be the first time he'd be willing to try it. And almost always he really liked it. And so he went from having, 15 or 20 things that I could turn to feed him, to having a whole lot more, having different colors of the rainbow in his diet, and being willing to try it without it being a fight. And so it just made mealtimes a whole lot more fun. And I was just really grateful for you guys, because it's disheartening when you have to fight to get your kid to try and eat nutritious food. And it is so much easier to have a hook, something that's easy to get them to try. And just knowing that it came from Salt of Perfection seasoning made it so he would be willing to give it a shot. And so it really helped to get him a much better diet.
Yeah, because back in that time, I would basically eat nothing.
Not nothing.
It was chicken nuggets and meats. That was it. No vegetables, no nothing.
I will say this. I have a cabinet full of spices. I cook a lot, so I had a cabinet full of seasonings and spices, and there hasn't been anything else that I've been able to put on the food that has made him more willing to try it or more consistently like it than the products that we've gotten from Salt of Perfection.
Huh.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. I don't know what to say.
I know. I'm kind of speechless myself.
I was really, really grateful because it's a good quality product. And, it's Gabe approved.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make one, a new flavor. Gabe approved.
That would make his day.
That would make my day.
But it gave him something to look forward to. He loved stopping by the booth every time we would go to the farmer's market. He liked trying all of the new seasonings, and he liked standing out in front of there telling everybody that was stopping by your booth all the seasonings they should try.
I did notice when Gabe stopped by, all of a sudden everybody gathered around to see what was Gabe trying.
Yeah, I kind of became like a little bit of a market celebrity. Yeah. Just a little bit, because I noticed that there would be more people around, because I'm like, hey, these flavors are really good.
You were very out loud with your enjoyment.
Yeah, obviously.
We've also had a good time talking to our family and friends that live in other states that we have mailed you guys as salts to for gifts and such. They make such great gifts. And my stepfather and my mother do a lot of camping. And so your little camping packs that you have for the salts, we gave them one and they love it. So, and he does a lot of grilling out. So it's very well loved by everybody we've sent it to.
That's great to
Gabe
hear.
gets to tell them all about the different flavors they haven't tried yet. So,
yeah, it's really fun when I'm showing somebody how to try this, what you should put on for this and that, and they're like, well, maybe, and then they actually try it, and then they're like, why is this so good?
So I have a curious question, Gabe.
Yeah?
What made you want to try our products, like, the very first time? What drew you to our products? Like, why did you want to try them?
Well, I think that I was just an interesting booth. You had very colorful banner. It clearly expressed what you guys were doing. And plus, I liked pink Himalaya salt at the time. And so I liked it a lot. And so I thought, hey, maybe these people have good salts and salts like that salt. And so I tried one. I'm like, I want that. I want to try them all.
I'm so glad that you did, Gabe. You're a pleasure to have visit our booth. Really enjoyed serving you. The different samples and seeing your reaction. It's a lot of fun.
Can't wait until I'm 16 and I'm able to work there. I'm going to be selling all. You guys are going to be like, why are all of our products sold out? And I'm like, good day at work.
We're holding you to that.
Yes, we are.
It was actually really good timing to get back to your question, Miss Terry, because he had just noticed that I had picked up pink Himalayan sea salt, and he was used to salt being white, and so he wanted to know how come this salt was pink. So I had just explained to him maybe 10 days before we showed up at the farmer's market the first time, this is what pink Himalayan sea salt is, and here, try this little flavor. So when he saw your salt booth, and then there was different color salts there, he's like, oh, we're gonna go over and try that.
I see how
it had been a really recent introduction that there could be anything other than sea salt.
So the timing was right as well. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have this podcast if you hadn't approached our booth. So I have to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gabe.
You're welcome. I mean, it's completely accidental, but
I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm not sure that was accidental. I think it was perfect.
Have your kids ever requested a meal because of a particular seasoning that you've used?
Yes, they love bacon with the Raleigh seasoning on it. That is their absolute favorite. And then other than that, if I'm going to make like a grilled chicken, that's what they want. They want that Raleigh seasoning on the grilled chicken.
I find the Raleigh seasoning very good because it gives the bacon and the meat a very big extra kick.
So could you tell us how other ways that you use Raleigh?
We've used it on pork chops. We like to collect the grease from the bacon that we use Raleigh seasoning on, and use that bacon grease to do a number of things. It's really good on fried corn. The Raleigh seasoning, we put some onions together and saute them with some corn. It's fantastic, like a barbecue.
So how do you fry the corn?
In some bacon grease with onions and the Raleigh seasoning, and you just give it a really good, it caramelizes. It's really good.
Wow, I've never heard of that. We have to try it.
It was the staple in my house. My mom used to do it because boiled corn gets old for kids after a while, so that's what she would do.
Is it corn on the cob or
it
just the
then,
kernels?
but now it's just the kernels. Yeah.
Cool.
Super good though.
Still, corn on the cob was really good.
And it is good if you just put it on the cob. Like you can just, make the corn and add a little seasoning at the end after you put your butter on it, and it's really tasty.
What would you say is your favorite seasoning that Salt to Perfection makes?
Well, I still like some of your old flavors, but some of the new ones are really, some trump the old ones. For example, I'll take Raleigh all day over smoked habanero. Like, that's easy. And also you can mix and match, and so you can see which one is which.
We should share with our listeners that before the podcast recording here, Kymberly and Gabe tried some of our new top secret flavors that we haven't introduced yet. And they gave a solid thumbs up on all of them.
Two thumbs way up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're eating more food as a result?
Yeah. Definitely. I've probably eaten a lot more new foods that I wouldn't have and like them. For example, you couldn't pay me $100,000 to eat a baked potato, but now I like double baked potatoes with cheese on them.
Salt of Perfection's flavors really kind of opened you up to things. What did you eat before?
Mostly chicken nuggets, mostly.
Yeah, we had a hard time with vegetables of any kind.
Until the cucumber comes along.
What's your favorite snack now?
Cucumber.
And it started with salted cucumber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually it did. But now he'll eat all sorts of vegetables, raw or steamed, with some of you guys' seasoning on them, so that worked out really well.
And he mentioned the baked potato,
Yes.
and so you really feel that you're enjoying so many more foods and healthier options as a result of the different flavors. Yes?
Yeah.
The other thing it helped with is getting him to try new meats, because he'd like fish sticks from the store, but if I tried to make fried fish at home, he was not a fan because it tasted different. But when I put Mrs. Terry's Key West in the batter, suddenly the fish was really good and he wouldn't mind eating fried fish at home. So things like that.
Do you ever help out in the kitchen?
Occasionally.
I see what your mom's nodding over there.
Occasionally.
We just decided at our family meeting last night that they were going to take a more active role in helping prepare the meals. So my oldest son is already learning how to cook, but Gabriel is getting ready to start helping out into the kitchen.
What's a meal that always gets you excited when you see it on the table?
The bacon.
Do you usually have eggs with your bacon or
I
toast?
just started liking dippy eggs like a year ago, so I haven't tried it in it, and I bet it would probably be good, but I haven't just tried it yet.
I can tell you that he really liked bacon wrapped chicken with the Raleigh seasoning on it.
Yeah.
And the macaroni, and then pork chops with the Raleigh season. I think the other one that he really liked, and
Okay.
usually they're with macaroni, but
So-
he really liked the pork chops.
It's a big coincidence here, but earlier in our conversation before we started recording, you talked about how you think an island is the perfect place to live. And one of the questions in our script is, if you could only take one seasoning blend with you to a deserted island, which one are you choosing?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Oh, no.
You go first. I have to think about it.
Oh, boy. That's really hard. I think the one I'd choose out of all would probably be the Tuscan Red Blend. I'd take that because it's mainly all your flavors pretty much in one to make it. Even though it isn't all your flavors, that'd probably be way too explosive for the taste buds.
Tuscan Red Blend. That's a solid choice.
That's a tough question. I am torn, honestly, because all of your smoked salts, the smoked line, they are probably the most commonly used in my kitchen other than the Raleigh seasoning. But I'd probably say the Raleigh seasoning simply because it's very versatile and you could just make everything taste good, sort of make you forget you're alone on a desert island.
I've always had you, my friend.
So, Gabe, I'm curious, your palate has been expanded since we first met that fateful day at the farmer's market. What is the most, not including our seasonings, but what's a food that you have eaten that you never would have expected you would eat and enjoy?
Baked potatoes. Easily baked potatoes. I never expected I'd like baked potatoes.
So vegetables in general, you eat vegetables now, and whereas before you didn't.
Especially cucumbers, man. If Mom did not stop me, I'd go through 8 cucumbers in a day.
But you've tried a lot of other vegetables too, like the steamed broccoli with the Key West on it you really liked.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah, the steamed broccoli. And I made steamed carrots one time when I put the Key West seasoning on. They didn't like that at all. But I thought it was delicious. I ate all of them.
what would be the biggest surprise that that one of our products that goes on something like to you? Like, what would be the biggest surprise? Yeah?
Was when I made toffee. I put cherry wood smoked salt on the top of the toffee.
Ooh.
And it was super good. That was mine. I was surprised.
Yeah, so I learn actually from all of our customers. You know, one was mentioning that she would chop up apples and then put the rosemary salt, and I thought, rosemary salt on apples? But it turns out to be super good.
I put the vanilla salt on the apples. It was really good.
What kind of fruit do you like, Gabe?
Apples. We bought a bushel of apples recently, and they're gone within a month.
He lives off apples and cucumbers.
Yeah. I think some of the flavors you have that are working in progress is amazing. You guys are really good at making salts. You're really good, and I can tell that because you really is actually salting it to perfection.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
We're going to have to hire Gabe as a marketing guy.
He will appreciate it.
You know, when you start a business, you start out and you think, well, yeah, let's do this and see what happens. To have a story like yours come about as quickly as it did, where it really did change your lives, is something you don't expect, and it's really fulfilling to hear it.
It is very.
So
Very
you
fulfilling.
being here has been a big gift. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And again, thank you for making just a really good product.
And making me like half the things that you put on it. More than half the things. Probably all the things. Except for the carrots. Never make boiled carrots again.
Well, that was such a fun conversation. A huge thank you to you, Kymberly and Gabe, for joining us today and sharing your story. It's always incredible to hear how something as simple as seasoning can make meals more exciting and bring families together.
Absolutely. And if you want to try the Raleigh Select Blend or any of our other blends, head over to saltedperfection.com and start your own flavor adventure.
And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with a fellow food lover.
Until next time, keep cooking, keep exploring, and keep savoring the journey, grain by grain.